Going live on Instagram. Okay, and then I'm going to pull the chat back up. Give me 1 second. See if I can do Instagram over here and YouTube over here. How is it going, party peoples? All right. This is our 7th Jazz and Jesus live stream. We've had 7 of these so far. And I'm going to be real with you guys. I really did not want to stream today. I almost canceled it. This has been one of the most frustrating days of my professional working career. And I can't go into all of the reasons as to why that is. But our EP releases tomorrow. Praise the Lord. Our 5-song EP releases tomorrow. Despite Satan trying to do everything possible in his power for that not to happen. And again, I can't explain everything behind that. But the EP will come out tomorrow. Our 5-song EP. And the reason that I'm streaming today is so that I can talk about these songs. And I can play some things from these songs for you guys. I'm not going to sing for you. I did that last week. So that was a very rare instance of me singing. I'm not the singer of Zoetic. Emma is. And so I did that last week. I'm not doing that this week. I'm just going to play. But yeah, I thought that it would still be good for me to come on here, live stream to you guys, talk to you guys, chat with you, answer your questions, play some excerpts from the EP. I don't know how long I can stay on here. As you can probably tell, I am exhausted. I have been running around for the last 3-4 days like a chicken with my head cut off, getting everything ready for this release and getting everything ready for the release day show. So a couple of housekeeping things. We are doing a release day show tomorrow. Details about that are in the new creation, I never remember what it's called, story favorites or whatever at the top of our page. Highlights, story highlights at the top of our page. So you can find out details about where the show is. We live in Phoenix, Arizona. I've said that before. And so we're, if you're local or relatively local and you want to come and be at the show, we would love to meet you and see you. If not, if Phoenix is just too much of a haul for you, then we will also be live streaming this show as well. And we're really excited for it. It should be a really, really good time. Yeah. This is not a super organized live stream. Like I said, I'm just going to be talking about the songs, playing things from them. It's been a rough couple weeks for a lot of us, for a lot of Christians. My live stream last week, I talked a lot in depth about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. It was a very hard live stream to do, very emotional live stream. This live stream is also hard to do, but it's just because I'm tired. It's not really because it's not because I'm as stricken with grief as I was last week, but I did talk a lot about that last week if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on all of that. And I don't know. I have to stay off social media. I have to stay off of Twitter, particularly. Twitter is a dumpster fire right now. It is awful. You would think that the death of a Christian man could unite us for 1 second before we start picking at each other again. But apparently no. Apparently that's too much to ask. There is something I do want to briefly touch on. So, yeah. The first thing is that this is not unique to me. This has happened to a lot of people. But Emma and I have lost a lot of followers since we talked about Charlie Kirk's assassination last week. I do mean like 300, 400 followers, which is a lot of people. I know that in the internet age or whatever, 300 to 400 people doesn't seem like a lot of people. That's a lot of people Like, I don't even think I know 300, 400 people in my personal life, period. Okay? So, I gotta say that, to be honest, that was really surprising. Like, it was actually kind of really surprising that we lost that many followers. I'm not going to sit around here and just, like, complain about it endlessly. I mean, you know, we've been very blessed, and that's great. Praise the Lord for that. And obviously, I don't want to take any attention off of, you know, the true victim in this situation, which was, of course, Charlie Kirk and his family. But I will say that, like, I was honestly kind of amazed that that many people unfollowed us. I don't make political statements on the page very often unless they are truly backed up by scripture. This is not a political page. I am not a political commentator. This is a Christian duo. On our YouTube channel, we've made, I've made more videos that go into detail about that. But on Instagram, I really don't very often. And I personally don't think it's political to mourn the death of somebody. I don't think that should be political. And the fact that so many people found me saying that Charlie Kirk getting shot in the neck was incredibly offensive, like that I was sad about that I said that was a tragedy, that was incredibly offensive to so many people that they unfollowed us. I am surprised by that a little bit. Out of all the tribalism and polarization, I never thought that would be a hot take, that it's a tragedy that somebody was assassinated on camera in front of thousands of people. That is a tragedy, objectively. And if you don't agree with that, is there any situation where somebody could be assassinated and it wouldn't be a tragedy? I don't know, like Saddam Hussein, right? I mean, I don't think that was a tragedy that he was killed. Assassinated is not how I would put that, but killed. That's not a tragedy. But short of that, anybody being killed, particularly in the way that Charlie Kirk was murdered, is a tragedy. Should not be controversial. I cannot believe it is. I cannot believe people unfollowed us. I mean, good riddance. It's really not whatever, but it was just surprising is all I'm going to say about that. And then the other point I want to make, this is more kind of going the opposite direction a little bit, but like I said, I really got to stay off Twitter. I think I'm going to delete it off my phone after I get off the stream. Seriously, it is just so toxic all the time. But I've seen people say things like, if your pastor didn't mention Charlie Kirk on Sunday, or if your pastor didn't talk a lot about Charlie Kirk or make like a big, message about it or whatever, then you should leave that church, which is just so funny to me. It's so funny to me. That's like such a non-denominational way of thinking. This person didn't comment on this current event the exact way that I want them to. My pastor didn't comment on this current event the exact way that I want them to. And by the way, like I said, I think that the death of Charlie Kirk is a tragedy. I've said it many, many times. And I do think that it's probably good for pastors to at least mention it, to at least have mentioned it on Sunday. I mean, it is a major, major event. It's a tragedy. That being said, like, if your pastor doesn't talk about it as much as you want them to just be like, well, I'm going to leave my church, is just so funny, because that's not the purpose of a church. The purpose of a church is not to parrot your opinions back to you on any event, including this one. Okay? And again, I've said all of the disclaimers that I think it would be good if pastors did mention it, but I wouldn't leave a church over it. I think that's ridiculous. Like, you would leave a church over the fact that your pastor didn't talk about Charlie Kirk as much as you would have wanted him to. That's just like, that's insane to me. Like, and I've left a lot of churches over way worse stuff than that. I don't, maybe it's because like we don't really have a public platform, but we kind of have, a platform a little bit. people tell Emma and I to weigh in on things all the time. Oh, when are you going to talk about this? Oh, when are you going to talk about that? Oh, when are you going to... I'm not beholden to you. Like, I say what I want when I want. It's my page. It's my platform. No one is ever going to pressure me into saying anything I don't want to have to say. And by the way, it's the same thing for pastors. I can say it might be nice, but, like, I'm never going to pressure a pastor to say something. Like, it's their business what they say when they say it. Like, their job is to lead the flock. And I would never leave a church unless a pastor was, like, blatantly heretical or, like, seriously problematic in other ways. But, like, I would not be like, oh, they didn't weigh on this particular event. You know, go online and listen to commentary if you really want that to happen. It doesn't need to be your pastor doing it. Again, I think it's good if pastors did it, but they don't have to do it. I'm not going to require that my pastor talk about Charlie Kirk to the level I want him to. Because that's not the purpose of church. The purpose of church is for you to be edified, not for you to demand that your topics get talked about in church. It's just a very selfish, narcissistic attitude, in my opinion. That's my opinion on that. Anyways, just a silly thing that I've seen go around. Just like, yeah, if Charlie Kirk is not mentioned to this degree, then you should leave your church. It's just weird. All right. All that being said, I think that for the most part, that is going to be the end of my thoughts and commentary on this whole situation. Like I said, we did an entire live stream on it last week. And, yeah, I think that's going to be the end of my thoughts on that. We're going to go into the EP, and I'm going to talk about each and every single song on this EP, because come hell or high water, we are releasing it. Like I said, even though Satan wants to do everything in his power to have it so we do not release this EP, I think that that just goes to show how important this EP is. So, tomorrow, our new creation EP comes out. It's a 5-track EP. And I always like my projects to be tied together by a single concept. Last year's album, Made in the Image, was an album that was tied together by the central theme of identity, right? And the destructive things that people put their identity in, and the need for them to find their identity in Christ. This EP is not about that, because I wrote an album about it last year. This EP that's coming out tomorrow is about what happens after you become a Christian. What does being a Christian mean? Okay? So you pray the prayer, you know, you get baptized, you know, now what? Now what? What does being a Christian look like? What does being a Christian mean? And that's what this whole EP is about. Okay? And each one of these songs kind of approach that topic from a different side. So the first song on my EP is a song that's already been released. 3 of these songs have already been released as singles. Unfortunately, that's just the game that you have to play. The first song is called Calling. And it has a main riff that goes like this. So that's the main riff of our song Calling. That came out a few months ago. It was the first single to be released. It's a really happy song, a really joyful song, but it's a song about pursuing the calling of the Lord even when you don't feel equipped to do so. I've said this many, many times, but the ultimate mission of every Christian is the Great Commission that Jesus gave us. Go into the world and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That is our mission as Christians, and that's what this whole song Calling is about. It is about pursuing that mission even when you don't feel like you are equipped to do so. And by the way, that is everybody to a degree, including me, okay? I don't always feel like I have the right words to say to share the gospel. I don't always feel like our songs are going to reach people. I struggle with insecurity and doubt. Every single person does. But it's the promise that God will be with us, that he will guide us. He will give us the right words to say, to share his truth with non-believers, and to make much of his name, and to be a light for Christ in this world. So that's what the song Calling is about. It is really just about once you become a Christian, your mission is God's mission, and God will equip you to do that mission even if you don't feel equipped to do that mission. And like I said, all of us have not felt equipped to do that mission. And so, yeah, that's the first song, Calling. I wrote the words. I wrote pretty much all of the music for this EP with very little exception on this random retreat I went on with my husband, like back in August of last year. My husband and I went up to Sholo for like 3 or 4 days, and it was the first time I'd really had a break from like music and like all the stuff, and my brain decided to just write the entire album, basically, of the entire EP. I wrote 4 of the 5 songs, the music for it. I just kind of had it. And then I waited until I got back to start writing the lyrics and produce them. And then I wrote most of the lyrics for the EP on a different retreat with Emma, where Emma and I actually went up to Bryce Canyon, and I wrote a lot of the lyrics for the EP up there. So the music I wrote in Sholo, I thought of the music in Sholo with my husband. It was just kind of going through my head. It's kind of going through my head when I was on this hike with my husband. It's just kind of a funny concept. Songwriters will relate to this. When you think of a really good song and it hasn't been produced yet, it hasn't even really been written down yet, and nobody knows what it sounds like. 0 people know, and you just kind of have it in your head. It's this fun, cute little gift you have for yourself that nobody else has heard it. Like Emma hadn't even heard it. It just was kind of in my head, and I was like, oh, this is a good song, and people don't know it because it hasn't been produced yet. So that's kind of a little fun concept. But the downside of that is that nobody is excited about the song when you are, because I'm always excited about my songs the second I write them, but they're not out in the world yet, and so people haven't heard them. And so other people are excited about the song after I'm already sick of the song. And I'm excited about the song when nobody else has ever heard the song before. So yeah. All right, Ray Artist. Then you pray to find the truth, then you become an Orthodox. Oh my goodness, it's my token Eastern Orthodox person in the chat. Then you eat his body and drink his blood. That's what we do in communion. Yep. Did you not know Protestants do that too? Did you just think that's an Eastern Orthodox thing? Then Jesus inside of you doing his will, and you will see the power of and the love of God. Yeah, I already have that. It's called being a Christian. Yeah, I believe in real presence in communion. I know that's hard to believe because I don't hold to your exact denomination. Your exact denomination is not the whole of Christianity, right? I say that with a little bit of jovialness and respect for my Eastern Orthodox brothers and sisters, but it's like, you know, you can get off your high horse a little bit. You don't have a monopoly on truth. I hold to the same scripture you do, right? Sam Carter, new creation is the last point on my 10-point atonement acrostic that I debuted over on Tim Barber's Overlap Life channel. Now it's got an EP. There you go. See, I'm just taking all of your theological points and making music to them, which I think is pretty cool. Anyways, okay, continuing. So that is Calling. The next song is Bring Us Back. Bring Us Back has not been released yet, but it will be tomorrow. It'll be out tomorrow. And the main riff of Bring Us Back kind of sounds like this riff. The main piano part, keyboard part of Bring Us Back sounds like this. That's like the main riff and the verses, and then this is like a very short pre-chorus. And then this is the chorus. So it has really interesting chords. It feels like it's not even centered in a key, really, which, I mean, I love doing that. It's kind of the same for calling. Calling more or less modulates between the key of E major and the key of G major. And Bring Us Back is kind of all over the place, honestly. The verse chord progression, this is such a weird place that I got this from, but the verse chord progression is very similar to the chord progression in Jesse McCartney's song She's No You. And I'm not like the world's biggest Jesse McCartney fan. I liked him more when I was like little, you know. But for some reason, that chord progression just stuck with me. It's like really catchy and cool. And I used it as the verse in this song. And then, the chorus modulates. So like basically the verse is kind of in A minor, kind of in G minor. And then the chorus is in B flat. So there's this just like really cool modulation between the verse and the chorus, but it feels smooth. It feels right. And that's what I really like about it. Somebody says, what intervals do you use the most when you make a song? I don't really think in terms of that. I mean, I use a ton of extensions on my chords, a ton. Like if you guys, all of our songs are up on Ultimate Guitar, so if you want to learn to play any of them, they're all up on Ultimate Guitar. You can see the chords that I use, and the chords are wild, okay? Like, you know, B flat 7, you know, sharp 5, flat 9, 13. Like weird chords. And so as far as like, I mean, there's all sorts of intervals in that. I don't think in intervals, I think in chords. Right? And some chords are built off of fourths. Most chords are built off of triadic harmony. So a lot of thirds and sixths, but it's, I mean, again, I don't go into writing a song thinking like, oh, I'm going to use fourths. Like, I don't do that. It's like, what chords do I want? And thank goodness, with my music theory background, I have a lot of choices. I have a lot of chords that I can pick from, and that's really, really cool. Someone asked, are we located in Texas? I could see how you would think that from my shirt, but no, we're in Arizona. I just love Texas. I love Texas. I got this shirt at Buc-ee's. If you guys don't know what Buc-ee's is the world's greatest gas station. It is like a gas station Costco combo. It is insane. And they have them in Texas. And my husband and I just vacationed in Texas for the first time a few months ago. We loved it, and I got this shirt there, and so I am wearing it. But no, I am a proud, happy Arizonan. I'm born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. Gas station with brisket sandwiches. I know, the brisket sandwiches. Their candy wall, oh my goodness, it's nuts. And then they have like this whole like store where you can get clothing and you can get like home decor, and like, yeah, Buc-ee's is amazing. They are building one here. They're building one in Arizona in Goodyear, which is not near where I live. I live in East Mesa. So it's like the whole opposite side of the metropolitan area from where I live. But when they build it, I'm going to go because it's Buc-ee's. Of course I'm going. Anyway, so that was Bring Us Back. And Bring Us Back... anyways, that was me kind of improvising off the chords. But that's Bring Us Back. And Bring Us Back is a song about Christian unity. So, okay, you've become a Christian, and basically, and this is perfect because we got, not to call out our Eastern Orthodox friend over here, but we have a ton of different Christian denominations, and they all think that they have the monopoly on truth, that they know everything about everything. And, you know, to be fair, I think that my opinions are right. Everybody thinks their own opinions are right on theology. And there is a serious lack of ecumenical dialogue where people think that, Roman Catholics are not Christians. I've heard people say that. Or Roman Catholics will say that non-denominationals are not truly Christian. Eastern Orthodox thinks that nobody other than them are Christians. And to me, yes, Christianity is a thing. We have to know what it is and what it isn't. But if you hold to the creeds, which Eastern Orthodox, Roman Catholic, and all Protestants, for the most part, do, you're a Christian. And so Bring Us Back is a song about Christian unity, about us needing to find our way back to Christ and to unite under him and his sacrifice. We all agree on that. And as we've seen this last year, or this last week even, there's a tremendous amount of evil in our culture right now. And we need to remember who the true enemy is, and that is Satan. It is not other Christians who don't agree with your exact view of the Eucharist. Okay? And I have a view on the Eucharist, and I still wouldn't say that. Okay. Somebody says, just found you guys, love what you do. I have a Christian band too, although it's metal. Yeah, metal band. I am a huge metalhead. I listen to a ton of prog metal. My favorite band is a band called Animals as Leaders. Most people don't like. That's okay. I like them. And I listen to a ton of metal. Mostly like prog metal, like jazzy type metal, but yeah. It's kind of sad I can't use that influence in my music. Maybe I'll do like a side project at some point where I do that. Somebody says, nice MIDI board. Thank you so much. The Auburn, Alabama Buc-ee's has like 200 gas pumps and they're all nearly full of cars. I believe it. Yeah. I mean, every Buc-ee's that I went to in Texas was insanely busy. And for good reason. Like, it's a phenomenal gas station. Tosin Abasi is the guitarist in Animals as Leaders. AL is the best band out there. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to make an argument otherwise in terms of just sheer talent. These three guys that make up Animals as Leaders, it's two guitarists and a drummer. They are monsters on their instruments. Like, they are some of the best instrumentalists I've ever heard in my life. It's very hard to find people who are better than them. You may not like the way they write, but yeah. Says, we are every thought captive. You'll probably dig us. Okay, well, when I am not ripping out all of my hair because I'm trying to release an album, I will see if I can listen to it. I would like to. I like it when our followers send us stuff. Let's give some love to Javier, of course. Yes, Javier as well. Although Matt Garska is my favorite in that trio. The way that Matt Garska plays drums, I don't even think I play the same I play drums, and I am not half bad at the drums, and I don't even feel like I play the same instrument as Matt Garska when I watch him play drums. He plays drums in a way that I can't even comprehend. Okay, I'm getting all over the place. Anyways, so that's Bring Us Back. Next song is Show Me. That one was already released. That's our song. That is our song, Show Me. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat. That is our song, Show Me. And Show Me is really about how we are called to live as Christians. It is, Show Me is a song that is about God. When we become Christians, God asks everything from us. He asks for us to transform our will and our desires to align with his, for us to let go of any sin that we cling to on our own. And that's what Show Me is about. It is a song about sanctification. And that song, like I said, is already out. So you can listen to it if you have not done so already. And yeah, that's just like a funky little song. So now we got Calling, Bring Us Back, Show Me. Our fourth song, Are You Entertained, is my most, I'll say for Emma and I, one of our most ambitious songs we've ever done. This song, we really let loose with our musicianship. It is the proggiest song probably on the EP. It's not out. It will be out tomorrow, though, so pre-save the EP if you want to. And just a little bit of that song. And that song, Are You Entertained, which will be out tomorrow, that song has like a monster piano solo in it. I really, really let loose on that song. And so I'm really excited about it. I'm really, really excited about it. And that song is, yeah, it's not just controversial musically. It is also controversial lyrically. It is about basically these seeker-friendly churches that care more about getting people in the door than they do about shepherding their flock and feeding their congregants once they're in there. It's about these congregations that care more about having hay rides for people and snow cone machines and funny little skits during the sermon and entertaining people than they do about about convicting people and bringing them to a deeper truth of the gospel. People, basically churches that have missed the point of church. That's what the song is about, and that's why it's called Are You Entertained? I'm super excited about that song. That song is, like I said, a song where I really felt like I could just let loose and do what I wanted and not be beholden. It's a good thing about not being on a label, because a label would have never let me make that song, but I felt like it was important to make anyways. Somebody said, have you ever listened to Destiny Potato? Yeah, I love Destiny Potato. Take a Picture, Indifferent, Blue Sun. They're a really good band. Really, really good band. I really like their guitarist. I think his name is David Maxim Mitrich or something is his name. I really like his solo stuff too. His solo stuff. His like Bilo albums are really good. Final song off of the album is the EP is the title track, New Creation. So we got Calling, we got Bring Us Back, we got Show Me, we got Are You Entertained, which I just played through, and finally we got the title track, New Creation. New Creation came out a couple weeks ago. Thank you guys for your responses to that song. It's the closest thing I've ever written to a worship song. Will probably be kind of weird on electric piano, but so that is, of course, our latest track, New Creation. Joshua says, Are You Entertained? It sounds like a sequel to Imposter. It is indeed a sequel to Imposter. But it is way more wild and unrestrained than Imposter was. And I love our song Imposter. Imposter is like one of my favorite songs of ours, if I can say. I mean, you can have favorites of your own, you know, that we've ever done. I love our song, Imposter. But, you know, this song is way more musically unrestrained and wild than that song. We're really excited for it. We hope you guys enjoy it. Go stream it. It's a song that's going to be hard to promote because it doesn't really sound like a lot of our other songs, but I don't care. I wanted to make what I wanted to make, and I made that song for it. If there was any secular band or artist that would turn Christian, who or which would do it best? Anybody that is a profoundly talented musician. I mean, as far as who or which would do it, I hope that any secular art. I mean, I don't care. I don't care what secular artist turns Christian. It could be the Beastie Boys for all I care, and I don't even like the Beastie Boys, but like whatever, that would be fine. But if you're talking about who I would prefer, I mean, I would rejoice to high heavens if someone like Lewis Cole became a Christian. Lewis Cole, one of the most profoundly talented musicians of my generation. I mean, I think people would say that about Jacob Collier too, but I like Lewis Cole's stuff a lot better. I mean, the guys in Animals as Leaders, I would love it if they became Christians, but they're an instrumental band. So maybe like Periphery. Like if the guys in Periphery became Christians, that would be wild. That'd be so cool. I do pray for that. I think that would be great. Imposter is one of my absolute favorites of yours too. Excited to hear the new stuff tomorrow. Thank you so much. Yes, guys, go stream and pre-save the new EP tomorrow. Or to do it today, but it comes out do it today, but it comes out tomorrow. You know, this EP is a labor of love, as all of our stuff is. We produce all of our stuff ourselves. We outsource for mixing and mastering, but all the production is just done right here, right at this desk. That's it. So we really appreciate the support. Lewis Cole is profoundly as good at music as he is intentionally provocative. Well said. Lewis Cole is not a very clean person. I don't mean like literally clean. I just mean the man is very provocative. He writes very provocative lyrics. He can use a lot of language. He doesn't always, but he can. But my goodness, is he talented. Oh my goodness. Crazy, crazy talented musically. And writes super catchy songs too. He has that perfect mix of technicality that is insane and like writing super catchy stuff, and that is not super common, I would say. All right, anyways, I'm gonna go because I have to prepare for this album release and the show. So again, thank you guys so much for joining. Thanks as always for your comments and your questions. And if what was I gonna say? What is the hardest song you can play? You guys always come up with questions right when I'm about to leave. What's the hardest song you can play on piano? I'm guessing something classical. No, it's probably Secret Pharisee, which is one of our songs. No. If it's classical music, like no, you're good. You're good. I didn't mean to get on you about that. I just do think it's funny. But anyways, as far as classical, I would say Rachmaninoff's Prelude in B minor Prelude, not C sharp. I've played C sharp minor as well, but B minor's harder. Would be up there. I played one of Liszt's what are they called? Hungarian Rhapsodies in college. I played. I'm trying to see. I've played a ton of jazz stuff like Bill Evans solos, Miles Davis. Giant Steps. I mean, Giant Steps is always a heck of a chord progression. A lot of our stuff is pretty hard, honestly. Like I said, Secret Pharisee is a hard song to play. Little Boxes, the solo in Little Boxes. Something like that. That's the solo to Our Song Little Boxes. That's a tough one. Learned some Snarky Puppy things, some snarky like Sean Martin solos. Yeah. Difficulty is just kind of subjective. But yeah, like if I had to say the hardest piece, either a Hungarian Rhapsody or that Rachmaninoff piece. I learned Fantasy Impromptu at one point. I don't even remember how to do it. It was in high school at some point. Yeah. One of those pieces, I would say, probably. All right, guys. We are done. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you all. Bye.